Good morning, everybody. It's Drew from Atlantis. I've got Bully behind me and Colby in the machine over there. So we're here in Randolph, New Jersey, and today we are going to be working on a very cool project. These customers, they moved into this house maybe 2 months ago. They lived up on, or they had a lake house, but now as they've aged, they wanted a ranch. So now they have a one-level house with a nice deck, and it had an existing waterfall. It's one of these preformed ones, kind of like a Home Depot special. I mean, but somebody did spend some time doing this stacked wall work over here. The waterfall kind of extends up that way with some flexible hose. We've got electric, which is great, but they really built this up here. Spent a lot of time to put this together. However, it's not what the customer wants. So we're gonna be totally ripping all of this out, including this nice wall. So we'll save that stonework off to the side for the customer. He'll use it somewhere else on the property. What we're gonna be doing next to the pond is putting a small little patio for viewing, and then a couple of steppers to where that walkway will be. Reason for that is so it will be wheelchair accessible right up to the pond's edge. We're thinking about maybe even cantilevering one or two of the stones right over the side of the pond. This way it will be super interactive for their family member who will be able to come right up to the edge of it. So we have got a lot to do, just disassembling this, ripping out some plants, but making headway for an awesome install. So the wonders of movie magic. So just like that old pond is gone. So we've got it just about leveled off. We've got our transit set up over here. What we need to do now is we need to get our base measurements from the grade over here. And from that starting point, we will figure out where our water level will be. Water level then tells us where our shelves and the bottom have to be. So once that gets fired up, we'll take our measurements, figure out our low spot, and then work from there, and then we can start digging. So we have got this layer of sand on top of the soil because this soil is super rocky. We are hauling all of that bad stuff away. We cleaned out everything that we can and actually over excavated the hole, and we're gonna bring in clean soil to fill in behind it and really start to give it shape. The soil just wasn't holding together as we were excavating, so we just decided let's make it big, and then as we get the rock work in here, we can backfill and really start to give this thing some cool shape. So our skimmer is in. We know where our water level will be based on the overflow, which is right here. So this here is the maximum amount of water that this pond will hold. So using this as our benchmark now, we know this shelf is 12 inches below that, and then that is 24 inches below that. So max depth 2 foot, first shelf 1 foot. Over there the shelf is taller, but we're gonna cut that back as we make our way to the waterfall. Fish cave is gonna sit in that corner, and then I guess the next step, we gotta put in some fabric and liner. right, we got so much of this pond rocked in already. The bottom is just about finished. Foley and Colby are working on setting some of these larger character boulders. These large ones help give the pond shape because they can really jut out and curve back in. Really, really crucial when trying to keep those curves up around on the bottom and around the upper edge here. So Boley's doing a great job setting these rocks here, and then in between these bigger ones we'll just fill in with some smaller stuff. A little bit of stacking in there, but that will just help give the illusion that this is a nice accented corner here. And then what I'm working on over here, we've got our skimmer set, fully got our frame rocks on either side of it, so the inside of it's done. What I need to work on here, I'm going to attach the plumbing and start trenching it up and around to where the biofalls is going to be, somewhere over in that area. So good thing we checked the weather report. They are calling for some heavy isolated rain overnight. There's a lot of dirt here, so we are covering it up so tomorrow morning when we show up, based on the radar, it says it will be dry, but we want to make sure that our work area is also dry. So we are covering it. We've got this nice big tarp, so we'll utilize it, make sure that we're not walking through all kinds of muddy mess. So all right, good morning, day 3 on this Tranquility Deluxe Pond here in Randolph, New Jersey. We are super excited to get this project wrapped up because for us here at Atlantis, this is going to be the last construction job of the 2021 season. It's cold. Yesterday was 65, today is maybe 28. So a little bit of change in our elements here. It did rain last night, but thankfully we covered up the workspace so our soil is not just a mucky mess. But today we are going to get that biofalls in, hook up the plumbing, rock it in, finish that waterfall, put in a couple of our pond edge steppers, hook up the lights, rinse it down, and then plug it in. So here we are. I'm working on finishing this back edge here. We got this really cool pond edge stepper, and then the next step here, our outlet for the pump and for the transformer are over there, but that's okay because we measured out. We've got a 20-foot cord on our pump, and that is only 17 feet away. So what we did to protect the cord and make it easy if the pump ever has to be pulled out and or replaced or serviced, we've got a conduit. We used an extra piece of 2-inch pipe that goes all the way around the backside here. It's over there. This way the cord will be run through that. It's protected from just about anything. So if you were gonna start to dig and do something around here, you're not gonna put your shovel through it. So I've kind of run a snake through it. I'm gonna tape the plug to the end of this, and then right over where Boley's at, you can see the other end of that white or clear tube. I'm gonna pull it through and then just finish this back edge over here. A couple of stones on this side, frame this out. I'm also bringing the grade up, raking this out so it's just a nice slope away from it. This way it keeps any kind of water that might want to accumulate back there from just kind of flowing away from this edge. And then I'm going to work on setting a couple more of these steppers over here on this side. Just make a little landing, just enough room to have a seat or two, and also for the little girl to be feeding the fish. So I'm gonna get back to it, but we are really making progress. That waterfall took shape in almost minutes. We love using these big boulders. Big boulders make awesome natural looking waterfalls, especially when we have to take up space. So instead of stacking tons and tons of little rocks to get that elevation from the pond out, we set a couple of these real large boulders just to give us that height and definition. Because they are so big, they really, really give proportion and size to this. So it's looking amazing. So how'd we do on this one?
Yeah.
We-
Ooh, 2 of them. Are you kidding me?
We got 2 thumbs up.
2 thumbs up. Well, actually, yes, 2 and 2 more.